Hello, Curious! We all know that the British royal family is often surrounded by gossip and speculations about every aspect of their lives. And probably one of the most talked about and speculated things would be who was really Prince Harry's father. But now that Meghan and Harry had left the royal family, you would think people would give those rumours a rest. And they did, for the most part, save for a few people online and maybe every now and then some publication bringing this up for the sake of an article. The one person who seems to have brought this up recently is Harry's own wife. Why is Meghan pushing for her husband to have a paternity DNA test after all those years? Did she also make him take one to prove that he was Archie's father? And why did Buckingham Palace deny a simple request from the former Duke of Sussex? Stay with me to find out what has been going on with those former royals, but before we continue, don't forget to hit the bell and subscription buttons to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos. The rumours about Harry's true parentage have been going around for many years. Obviously, one of the reasons that these have been going around is due to his appearance. Just looking at a photo of a red-haired Prince Harry beside Prince Charles, you can see the difference between them, and it kind of explains why some people would doubt whether he was the father. One of those people most speculated to have been the prince's true father is James Hewitt. In the past, the former cavalry officer in the British Army did indeed have an affair with Princess Diana. The pair met after he had been hired to be her riding instructor. They had been seeing each other for 5 years from 1986 to 1991, which Diana herself confirmed in a 1995 Panorama interview. Due to his red hair and of course his relationship with his mother, people were quick to label him as Prince Harry's father, a story that has been strongly denied throughout the years by both parties involved. And of course, these allegations, even to this day, are still brought up. Most likely fed up of those rumours, in 2002, Hewitt did an interview for the Sunday Mirror in which he spoke out against the claims. He stated that there is no possibility whatsoever that Harry was his son. Speaking about the gossip, he said, "Admittedly, the red hair is similar to mine and people say we look alike. I have never encouraged these comparisons, and although I was with Diana for a long time, I must state once and for all that I am not Harry's father. When I met Diana, he was already a toddler." That very same year, Diana's former bodyguard, Ken Wolfe, published his book, Diana, Closely Guarded Secret, in which he backed up Hewitt's words. He said that the gossip was just nonsense that should have been stopped there and then, because Harry was born on 15th September 1984, and Diana did not meet her riding instructor until the summer of 1986. Wolfe also revealed that all these rumours about Harry's paternity used to really anger Diana, and the red hair they state as their proof is a trait from the Spencer family. While those people are so hung up on Harry's hair colour as a base for their conspiracy theories, it is worth pointing out that as Diana's former bodyguard had said, her family also had red hair. For example, her sister Lady Sarah, as well as her brother Earl when he was younger. Remember, Curious, genetics are a funny thing. You never know in how many generations something like that could come out. And even as recently as 2017, Hewitt had to once again deny these rumours. Appearing on an Australian show called Sunday Night, he was asked by the presenter whether he was Harry's father, something he is surely sick and tired of hearing. As always, he denied these claims, and when asked why he thinks these rumours keep coming back, he replied that it's because it sells papers. James also went on to add, all this is probably much worse for the prince. But let me briefly go back to remind you of that famous 1995 BBC Panorama interview that Lady Diana did, where she confirmed her affair with Hewitt. Well, it was that detail that has allegedly stuck with Meghan Markle. Allegedly, a source told Women's Day magazine that Prince Charles, Harry and James had all taken a DNA test to once and for all prove the true paternity. They also went on to say that given the fact he and Meghan left the royal family, it's no surprise that he doesn't want to be a part of it or constricted by their rules. So if it turned out that Charles was not the father, it could be a blessing in disguise, and that it would make it easier for Markle to explore her political aspirations. And as you might know, being part of the royal family or connected to them does not allow her to do so, as they must remain politically objective and not endorse any party. However, the source had also added that the real reason for this decision is that they want an accurate picture of Harry's family medical history. Now that the couple are parents themselves, they have little Archie to worry about, and while Prince Charles is a healthy man, besides him contracting COVID that is, Hewitt had suffered from a heart attack and a stroke that was nearly fatal in 2017. And according to the insider, that was the cause of concern for Markle. Though whether these claims are true or not, it is currently unknown, though it would be interesting to find out what the results of such a test would say. While we're on the topic of DNA tests, according to a magazine titled Globe, upon Archie's birth, Prince Harry allegedly took 2 tests to find out whether he was his biological father. According to the publication, the tests were routinely performed on royal babies, and that the first one had shown that Harry was not the father. The article then goes on to also add that the former Duke of Sussex was angry and his wife had burst into tears. It also revealed that allegedly Harry had called it a scam and accused the people involved of carrying out the test of concocting a conspiracy theory against him and his son. A source also told the magazine that the reason that it was such a touchy subject for the former Duke of Sussex was because he didn't want his son to go through what he had growing up. Though curious, if you are gearing up to go tweeting about this, let me mention that the gossip had been proven to be untrue. I know it would have been such a tasty piece of gossip. However, gossipcop.com had denounced the rumours and wrote that the magazine Globe has been known to write fabricated stories about the royal family, and especially Prince Harry. The site also added that there had not been any rumours about the former Duchess being unfaithful, so what basis would there have been for suspicion of the child not being his? Though let us be honest, had something like this really happened, it would have been national news within seconds. As things stand right now, Harry is Prince Charles's son and Archie is Harry's. Though speaking of the rest of the royal family, it seems that the tensions between them and Meghan and Harry are still at an all-time high, or just not on good terms. This weekend, as is tradition, the British celebrated Remembrance Day, which takes place on the Sunday nearest to November 11th. This day is also celebrated in the US but is known as Veterans Day, and it is a memorial to all those who had given their lives in the line of duty. In most countries, especially those part of the Commonwealth, it recalls the end of the hostilities of World War I on that date in 1918, where they formally ended at 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In the UK, it is also common to wear a red poppy, as the flower used for this are the same ones that grow in the fields where the war ended. As you can imagine, these celebrations have looked much different this year, given the current situation in the world thanks to the ongoing pandemic. Only a handful of people were able to attend the Remembrance Sunday celebrations. For everyone else, they were broadcast live on television. The people that were allowed to gather under the Cenotaph War Memorial in London were members of the royal family and a few selected people working in the British government and other important positions, as well as members of the clergy. Prince Charles and Prince William, as well as the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, had been allowed to lay the traditional poppy wreaths. At the same time, the Queen, Camilla and Kate, as well as other members of the royal family, watched the ceremony from the balcony at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office building. Though obviously compared to previous years, it was hard not to notice the fact that Prince Harry was missing from the celebrations, as previously he used to attend it year after year. But obviously that is due to the fact that the former Duke now lives in the United States, and with the ongoing pandemic, it is a bit difficult to get around. Though he still wanted to be able to honour the fallen, as he had always done, and he made a special request with the palace for a wreath to be placed at the monument in his name. And so curious, this is where Harry got some nasty news. According to the Times, Buckingham Palace had refused this request on the grounds that having stepped down from the royal family and because he no longer represented the monarchy. The publication had also reported that the Queen is thought not to have been informed about the request or its refusal, which has deeply upset the former Duke of Sussex. Do you think that if she had been aware, she would have stepped in and allowed for his request to be fulfilled? Many of you will know that Prince Harry had spent 10 years in active duty and had served in Afghanistan, and he has always underlined the importance of this day to him. Appearing on the Declassified podcast, he spoke how the act of remembering is a profound act of honour and how it allows others to preserve the legacies of entire generations, and for us now to show our gratitude for the sacrifices that they had made. He also went on to add that wearing a poppy represents those soldiers that he knew, who he had served with, as well as those that he didn't know. For him, it was out of desire to celebrate the bravery and determination of the veterans and their loved ones. He also went on to say, the soldiers who were by my side in Afghanistan, those who had their lives changed forever, and those that didn't come home. His experiences in the army is also the reason that he had created the Invictus Games back in 2014. It was out of the desire to use sport to inspire recovery in the veterans, to help support their rehabilitation, and to generate a wider understanding and respect for the wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women. On the official royal family page, it is written that the former Duke of Sussex was inspired after a 2013 trip to the Warrior Games in the USA, when he saw how sport had helped those injured in the line of duty, not only physically, but also psychologically. While he was unable to attend the services in London, it did not stop Prince Harry from commemorating the day in his own way and paying respects. On Sunday, along with Meghan, they visited the Los Angeles National Cemetery, with Harry wearing a suit with a poppy pin in it, as well as 3 army medals. Due to the restrictions in place because of the pandemic, the couple kept their distance from others and wore masks as they strolled through the cemetery. The couple laid flowers at the graves of 2 Commonwealth soldiers. One had served in the Royal Australian Air Force and the other was a member of the Royal Canadian Artillery. According to the Metro newspaper, the flowers were picked from the garden of the couple's Santa Barbara home. The couple also placed a wreath at an obelisk in the cemetery, which has a plaque with, "In memory of the men who offered their lives in defense of their country," inscribed in it. The wreath came with a message written out by Prince Harry that read, "To all of those who have served and are serving, thank you." So curious, do you think the tensions between the royal family are growing? Will Meghan actually convince Harry, Prince Charles and James Hewitt to do a DNA test? Or is this all just some gossip? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.